So the last video I said I was going to do something which we didn't have time for, so I'm doing in this video in the sign of Aries, which is like the first the first month, even though we say, oh, but Rosh Hashanah is in Tishrei, which is the first month. But really, the first month is often connected with the liberation, with the Exodus. And the first month in Tishrei, which is Libra, Libra is, we connect with the Day of Judgment, Day of Atonement. Really, it's the birth of humans into the world. It commemorates humanity. It's the first month of like the new year. But in a different way, the Aries sign, the Nisan, is also and it says that the first 12 days before the actual Exodus, when they were preparing, coincides with the 12 zodiac's horoscope. So that's really why I wanted to get into it, because we talked about the sun in the other video, and a year, and on about various topics, and specific. I don't mean on and on like that. I mean like, and so on about various topics. But specifically when it came to like the 12 months, I wanted to include that. So we have the 12 signs, and how each one, there's Rabbi Eliyahu Jian talks about what each sign should do and should not do. So let's start with Aries. So the first day of the 12 days of Aries, and also the first month, is Aries. Do embrace spontaneity, start new projects, give generously, focus on appreciating your inner worth and beauty, and avoid negative impulses like anger, harmful speech, and concern over others' perception of yourself. For Taurus, and remember, each of us could relate to all 12. So let's say the first 12 days, everyone is focusing on their 12 months. So each month, you're still there, even if your birthday's not in Aries, you're still having a month of Aries, or a month of Taurus, or a month of Gemini. So Taurus. So do complete, and especially your sign, look at it like for a year. So Taurus, do contemplate. Taurus is the Hebrew month of Iyar. Do contemplate additions to life and assess material and financial well-being thoughtfully. Avoid laziness, non-hungry eating, and dwelling on what could have been. Gemini, which is Sivan, do find joy in new beginnings and acknowledge the positives in your life. Avoid a lack of focus and speaking negatively about others. The Cancer sign, which is Tammuz. 4, do be sensitive and caring to those around you, investing in close relationships. Avoid taking offense easily, seeking revenge, and holding grudges. Leo, which is the 5th month, and is do lead with confidence and generosity, recognizing my external approval. Avoid a desire for recognition or titles. So in other words, recognize I'm already being approved of from the outside, but avoid trying to desire more recognition and titles. Do reflect on personal improvements and appreciate, Virgo, which is Elul, reflect on personal improvements and appreciate both my strengths and weaknesses. Avoid judging others. So reflect on personal improvements and avoid both strengths and appreciate, strengths and weaknesses. Avoid judging others without the full understanding. Libra, which is Tishrei, do recognize my positive qualities and contemplate my purpose in the world, seeking reconciliation where it's needed, and avoid negative self-talk and self-criticism. Scorpio, Cheshvan, 8th month, do approach life with passion and urgency as if it was the last day. Avoid harmful competition or envy. Sagittarius, which is Kislev, do manifest miracles for myself and wish them upon my loved ones, maintaining optimism. Avoid saying things I might regret for years to come. Just keep having to stretch a little. Honestly, I didn't yet do my stretch, and I feel it's coming out. I've been stretching on and off for about 10 minutes while I'm doing other things. Okay, Capricorn, which is actually this month now we're in, which is Teves. Do assess my life's achievements and unmet goals with a seriousness. Avoid despair avoid despair, understanding that everything happens for a reason. Then we have Aquarius, which is about to happen in a few days. We're starting, I think, on this Saturday, this Shabbos, is Shvat. Or maybe actually it's on Thursday. I think this Thursday we start Shvat, and then a few days later on the 1st, like 2 days later on Saturday, or we would say Friday night at midnight according to the secular calendar, we're going to start with February, which is going to be Aquarius. Do embrace joy and not February, sorry, we're starting. Okay, so these Hebrew months, back up. Hebrew month Shvat is starting on Thursday. Now, the secular calendar goes by the sun, not the lunar solar calendar. So this calendar I'm sharing is really a solar calendar, a lunar calendar, but the Jewish calendar does implement the sun, so it's not exactly the same as we would call the non-Jewish calendar that is a lunar calendar, like the zodiac calendar, which often people say, well, if you're born from the 20th to the 20th, right? Anyway, so Aquarius officially starts on Thursday, according to the Jewish calendar, which is the lunar solar calendar, and the corresponding non-Jewish month, which the Jewish month is Shvat. The corresponding in English, we would call it Aquarius. So this is do embrace joy, smiling for no reason, and showing love to those close to me in a playful, organized manner. Avoid forcing my spiritual or moral beliefs on others. Now, at the end of February is my birthday, but how it works is that since the solar calendar goes not exactly according to the lunar or the solar lunar calendar for the Jewish calendar, which has special mathematical algorithms that keep it in line with certain things. So you have Pisces actually starts after 20. So according to the non-Jewish calendar, my birthday is after the 20th time of Pisces, and then according to the Jewish calendar, my birthday is in actual Pisces, which starts, by the Rosh Chodesh, which is the new moon, and so you see it's by the moon. And finally, I'll add that this past few months, I've noticed that it's become very, very close. The solar calendar and the lunar calendar, they're very, very close right now. So they're almost a day apart, or this month it's actually the same day till the end of the month. It goes apart one day, I believe. Like this Saturday is going to be the 1st of February, but this Friday is going to be the 1st of Aquarius. Okay, Pisces, 12. So let's repeat Aquarius for a moment, because I went on my comments, and maybe I should even repeat Capricorn. So what we're doing now is Capricorn. We have to assess our life's achievements and unmet goals with seriousness, and avoid despair, understanding everything happens for a reason. Aquarius, coming up in a couple days. Do embrace joy, smiling for no reason, and showing love to those close to me in a playful, organized manner. Avoid forcing my spiritual or moral beliefs on others. And Pisces, do introspect to identify and overcome barriers to being my true self, and avoid reverting to old habits or addictions, particularly as I prepare for spiritual renewal. I love that. That's very good for me, and I'm Pisces. Okay. So we're going to finish now with this idea from Shawn, Sheshn, Hashmatpour. He's a life coach. How we not trying too hard to fit in. And I think this is a good follow-up, actually. I knew that the 12 signs would need their own, and I thought I might even go into more detail, but I feel that's perfect. But not trying to fit in, not trying too hard to fit in means whatever we are, it's to be who we are, and even not trying too hard to fit into our sign. Okay, so to be really like the true self. So letting go of, if I become that, then I'll be this. For example, if I become rich, I'll be happy. Or if I get married, then people will like me. Or if I get in shape, then I can do whatever I want. These types of thinking. External circumstances, we have to start noticing what are actually external circumstances. Finding internal circumstance versus external. External is forceful overworking, people pleasing, chasing the feeling of good enough, and stressing ourselves out. Even stressing out means burning out. It means we're going out of ourselves, right? We might be quick to judge others who show weakness. Where's that coming from, right? Avoiding going out and socializing where we might be being comfortable as ourselves. So going out. So in other words, we could go without having to get out of ourselves. We could stay being comfortable as a self. And this idea when it comes to dating, that people might be afraid to date someone who looks beautiful, to be afraid to date a beautiful person, or to be afraid to work with a successful person. But if we recognize that it's our birthright to know already, and to as a perfect creation, as capable, that we are a perfect creation, and that we are as capable as anyone else, there's nothing actually wrong with us or our lives. And if we didn't get results we want, we are still good enough. So how do we get there? There's 7 tips he gives. One, and you could do any of these practices. 1, practice gratitude. I do this every day. I do a gratitude list, and I do try over the course of the day, when I feel even a glimmer of gratitude, to manifest it. To amplify it. Then we have 2, be proud of myself. I do this every day. I talk about things with a friend. We have a buddy system. Not necessarily a friend. You would say you could do this by yourself or with God or with anyone. Be proud of myself. 3, create more compassion for myself. I do that by admitting to myself what I'm working on, my mistakes. I see my weaknesses. I see where I'm limited. I find that this cultivates for me to be able to recognize, and then obviously that impacts my surroundings and social connections. 4, come back to the present moment. I do this by meditating, by doing body stretching, by doing a lot of things, but really with the intention of being here, being in the world, being present, not rushing to anywhere. 5, never compromising. We could say my price of services, my time, my type, my energy, or my values, and the list goes on. Whatever it is, don't compromise who you really are. Now, yes, compromising with others means that we are compromising in a way that we're not, I want to back up and say that I just want to clarify here. This is not saying we shouldn't learn the skills of compromising with others, but the price of my services, if my services cost $100, and then people could compromise with me even though they have the money, and I'm saying, well, 50 because I feel like I'm not good enough, that's not compromise, that's selling out. Then let's take the example of time. Let's say I tell someone I only have 10 minutes to give you because I know there's a class I want to go to, and they want me to compromise and give them an hour. I'm actually giving of my time. I'm not getting anything out of it, right? And then we have my type. Let's say someone tells you, please go out with him. You're both 33 years old. But I know that this person is a smoker, for example, and has no intention of quitting. He doesn't have a job. He lives with his parents. It could be that there's no way that if I'm dating for a marriage, that this is going to work. So we can't compromise in these things, right? But obviously learning that, or my energy. Like if someone's saying like, I don't have a place to stay, I have to live in your hallway. It's like, well, you could, but if it takes my energy to be able to deal with you because you keep taking my energy, I'm not getting anything out of it. I'm already doing you a favor. You're taking more than I wanted to give. And I feel, well, I'm not really worthy of my blessings to have my own home, my own apartment, my own room. I really should share it with others. Like, I don't deserve it. Or even with my values is like, for example, someone tells me, well, I want to play music on the Sabbath, around you. And you're like, well, I don't listen to electronic music on the Sabbath, so I can't be here for this. And they're like, well, you're not a rabbi. Why should you decide? So I'm giving examples of here he's talking about don't compromise yourself. Don't make yourself compromised. But to learn how to compromise with others means I will do less work and you'll pay me less if we come up with a solution, if that works for me. Or I will exchange energy, which means you could then clean my house because you're taking my energy, and I will then do this for you, right? We'll bargain. Let's say values, like, okay, so you'll play the music today and I won't be with you today. You'll do what you want. But then tomorrow I'll play the music that I like and you don't have to be there if you don't want to, right? So we both come as equal partners in this. I'm not the only one that's meant to compromise while you're not compromising. Never be, so in other words, never be the only one who's compromising. A compromise, I should have just said that in the beginning. A compromise must mean that both people are compromising. A come promise together. It's 2 people making a promise. That's how I'm thinking of it right now. Okay, 6, create a structure. I like to think of this as discipline, routine, thinking my mind likes. My mind doesn't always like to just have nothing. I always have an action plan. Every day I have one. And I try to do it. I try to also, as I get to know myself, I'm not going to always be able to do everything I thought I was able to do. It depends. And finally, create an internal measurement of self-worth. So what that means is we have to be able to find a way of worth, like the fact that I show up every day, the fact that I do a meditation, the fact that I'm willing to be and have a whole self. This gives me worth. The fact that I am still here, the fact that God made an arrangement with me to be able to come as a volunteer for what my offerings are for this world to help make it a better place, and so on. You have to come up with what works for you and your beliefs. And I think that's all for today. So wish you all the best. Bye-bye.